Welcome back to Buff-A-Touille. Today we're going to make one of my favorites. Today we're going to make Steakhouse creamed spinach. And I'm sure a lot of you right now are thinking, oh my gosh, spinach? Are you serious? But trust me, this is a really good one. When you go to certain steakhouses, whether there's Ruth's Chris or maybe a local one, it's something they'll serve with your meal, and it's really savory and it's really quite delicious. So tonight we're making it, and along with it we're actually going to be making sirloin steak tips that will not be in the meal, unfortunately, or in the video, unfortunately, but we're going to enjoy it. So I'm really excited to show you how this is done. Trust me, you're going to want to make it. You're going to love it. So let's get started. All right, so for today's cook, these are the ingredients that you're going to want to use. And I want to talk about a few of them first. So first of all, what do you even choose for spinach? Do you use frozen? Do you use raw? Well, you can use either, but trust me, the frozen is not as good, because I don't know about you, but when I eat frozen spinach, I think it has a lot of strong flavor. Whereas fresh raw spinach really doesn't. I mean, it's very nutritious, and this is what I recommend. So we're going to use 2 bags today. So we've got 16 ounces of raw, and we're going to start off cooking that. Before we do that though, we got a shallot here that's cut up. I'm going to reserve half of that for our steak tips, so we'll use a half of a shallot, and then we're going to cook that in 1 stick of butter. Of course, we always prefer Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold butter is delicious in all of our meals. And we're also going to use garlic to get started. So 2 tablespoons of garlic, 1 stick of butter, 2 bags of spinach, half a shallot. And after that, we're going to put in 2 cups of cream, 1 cup of Parmesan, a 1/4 cup of almond flour. We've talked about almond flour before and why we use that, so I highly recommend that. That will really thicken it up. Then we're going to do our salt, pepper, garlic, which we tend to do in every one of our videos. And lastly, this is one of the things that I really enjoy. It's from Spice World. It's a Kickin' Chili Onion Crunch. It has a little bit of a Thai chili flavor, a little bit, but it's really not as strong as one might think. Here's a different view of it in the jar. You can see it's really oily in the jar. But if you don't have this, or you don't want to use it, I still think you should put in some red crushed peppers. So just to get a little bit of a kick. So we're going to start cooking the spinach next. All right, here we go. We're ready. So I just realized I failed you once again, and I did not have our almond flour in the video. So this is what we'll be using, that 1/4 cup of almond flour. Got our pan ready to go. So we're going to start off with our stick of butter. I suppose if you don't want to use a stick of butter, then maybe you should just stop the video now. But if you're really after a delicious meal, keep on watching. Get that melted a little bit, and then we're going to throw in about half of our shallots with it. Now, normally I would have cut up the garlic myself. I apologize for failing you today. I am doing it out of a jar, which is very handy. And I'm sure some of you are more likely to do that, and that is fine. It is still good. Okay. We'll get this nice and yummy. Woo, hot butter. And then we will add the spinach. So not all of it's going to fit in here at once, but it does reduce down very quickly. Doesn't this look just divine at the moment? I'm sure it may be a little scary for my brother. Yes. Or anyone that cares about cardiovascular disease, I guess. All right, so we have created just a wonderful essence in this room that we're in. It smells like shallots and garlic and butter and anticipation. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some of the spinach. So, boy, what is Buff-A-Touille going to do in this situation? He's not going to get another bag of lettuce in there. Well, or spinach, I guess. We're going to put a lid on this and well, we're going to watch it shrink. Okay, so you can see this has really gone down quite a bit in size. I'm sure you saw me stir it there a little bit. And we are nearly at a point now where we can add that other bag. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll repeat that process again. Now, if you don't want to put in that much, that is fine. But as you can see, it shrunk a lot. Set these off to the side to my assistant. So one bag really doesn't go that far. Right now it looks like, oh boy, he actually pulled off a miracle. He got another bag in there. How did that magically happen? All right, so as you can see here, we're getting really close. Can you believe that's 2 large bags of spinach? No, I can't either. Now we're going to take this down a little bit smaller yet. So, how does one eat this once it's done? Well, you can eat it by itself. You can use it as a sauce, a thick sauce to eat with your proteins. So far, I've only had it with steak. I'm excited to try it with chicken sometime. And then today, something special has happened. My assistant over here, who you can see from the Jello time travel of Jello, made her first batch of garlic mashed potatoes. First time ever. And those are delicious. So we're super excited to try this with the potatoes as well as with the sirloin steak tips that we're going to make next. So also, you could have it with brisket. Just thinking about some of the other videos that we've made. I mean, really, any protein is really good. Don't be afraid. Yeah, it's an excellent topping. One thing, I have also tried it with bread. So instead of doing like a dipping oil with a baguette or just bread like you would at a restaurant, it's really good with the bread. Okay, so as you saw, we used a larger spinach. If you use baby spinach, it may be a little bit smaller, but this is about the way we like it to start. So now we're going to start to see it come together. So now that our spinach is really reduced down in size to a point where we like it, we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of heavy cream. right. So let's give that a stir. Oh, I really like that color. Look how that green and white come together. That looks really nice, but you just wait, we're not done yet. We'll give this a few stirs. I think one thing, there's a level of artwork in cooking. And so every time you stir this, you can see a little bit different mosaic that is quite relaxing. So it's kind of like a Zen garden, I believe they're called. For me, that's what cooking does. It allows me to think about the experience I'm about to have, and also I think about the great experiences I've had with my family and those I love, and friends. And this is one of those where I think about the times that we've gone out for birthdays or had some special occasions at a nice steakhouse, and you're like, geez, what should I order? Well, this is a really good one. So this does work really well for a keto lifestyle as well. So if you're interested in that, this would satisfy all of those. Yeah, so we do have other keto recipes out there as well, whether it's the keto biscuits or the keto biscuits and gravy or the brisket. Those are just a few that come to mind. But we've got options. Now that this feels like it's warming up, I'm going to go ahead and add the next item, which is going to be our Parmesan cheese. So to make things easier today, we're just going to put it in this whole container. So 8 ounces is going in here. What is he doing? He must be crazy. I might be, but that's how we get to a whole new level. In the near future or past, depending on when you're watching this, there will check out the Alfredo recipe and all the things you can do with that. So one of the other things we like is our homemade Alfredo sauce, which has a lot of similarities to this. And then also on a roasted cauliflower that we'll dice up and put some chicken in it. So another keto option, a keto chicken Alfredo on cauliflower. So, but we'll cover that in another video, so make sure you check that one out. And so now we've got the parm in there. We're going to go ahead and add in our 4th cup of almond flour. And what this is going to do for us is it's going to thicken it up a little bit. Sometimes you add a little more, a little less, depending on how thick you would like it. But the almond flour is another ketogenic food that is a great replacement for flour. We use a lot of it. I've been really excited to make this recipe for everyone. It is one of my favorites. And so today is the lucky day. Stir that around a little more. Now, salt, pepper, garlic. We've used a lot of this in our videos. And I just like to add it. I think every time I talk in the videos about how it looks like I'm putting in a lot, in reality, we usually add a little more. So don't be afraid, but do it how you like it. Now we just have one final thing to put in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here in a second. Like I said, it's this, I'll show you the lid. See the lid. Kicking chili onion crunch. It's really pretty good. And it sounds like it's really got a lot of kick, but it doesn't. It's got the right amount. So I usually go for at least a tablespoon. Might go just another half of there. One and a half tablespoons today. You'll see that our color is going to change now. As you know, we have a dog that joins every one of our videos. Her name is Chloe. She's roughly 11 years old, and she was really excited about that chili onion crunch and decided to come check this out. So I don't blame her. She knows this is good. So at this point, we have everything in it. We just need to keep stirring it and let it thicken up a little bit. So that's what we'll do. We'll just stir away, let it simmer for a little while, and then after that, we'll let it cool a little bit. So. All right, here we go. So I let it cool down a little bit. It did thicken up, which is the way we want it. In the meantime, I made the steak tips, sirloin steak tips. We got the mashed potatoes. So we're gonna try it first on its own, then I'll show you what it's like on the other items. I think it's probably gonna drip all over my face, but that's part of the fun. That has a lot of flavor. That has a lot of flavor. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try with this steak tip. That's incredible. The way the meat and the steak and the flavor of the steak and that goes together, it is just a dynamite combination. Lastly, we'll go for the garlic mashed potatoes. That's really good too. It's stronger with the meat, but it works really well with potatoes as well. It would probably be really good on a pasta. As you saw, it had a very similar Alfredo base to it. So, well, I think it was very versatile. But anyways, I'm so happy I could make this for you today. It's one of my favorites. I hope you really enjoy it. I love it a lot. So thanks for joining us today on another Buff-A-Touille experience.